The wind howled outside as dark clouds swallowed the moon, and rain fell in thick sheets, drenching the quiet suburban neighborhood. Inside a modest, two-room house at the end of the lane, Daniel stood over the stove, stirring a dented saucepan filled with beans. His shirt clung to his back, damp from earlier when he'd walked home in the rain after his second shift at the gas station. His 8-year-old daughter, Ellie, sat at the small kitchen table, legs swinging as she hugged her stuffed bunny close. "Daddy, why's the heater not working again?" she asked, her voice soft but tinged with concern. Daniel gave her a tired smile. "It's just taking a little nap, sweetheart. We'll warm up with some hot food and blankets, okay?" He plated the beans on 2 chipped dishes and set them down in front of Ellie and himself. It wasn't much, but he always tried to make their little world feel safe. The storm outside only made their cozy but aging home feel even smaller. Just as Daniel picked up his fork, a sharp knock echoed from the front door. He froze, fork halfway to his mouth. Who could that be at this hour? He muttered. Ellie looked toward the door, clutching her bunny tighter. Daniel rose slowly, instinctively stepping between his daughter and the door. As he unlocked it and pulled it open slightly, his eyes met a young woman standing in the pouring rain. She looked barely in her 20s, her expensive-looking dress soaked through, clinging to her like second skin. Her hair was drenched, makeup smeared, and her arms were tightly wrapped around herself as she shivered. "I'm sorry," she said quickly, her voice trembling. "My car broke down the road, and I've been walking in this rain for almost an hour. I didn't know where to go, and your house was the only one with a light on." Daniel hesitated. He didn't know this girl. The storm raged behind her, and everything in him screamed to be cautious. But then he looked into her eyes, wide, frightened, and utterly exhausted. "Please," she whispered, voice breaking. "Just for a while. I'm not trying to cause trouble." Daniel stepped aside without a word and opened the door wider. "Come in before you catch pneumonia," he said, motioning her inside. She stepped in hesitantly, water dripping from her dress onto the floor. Ellie peeked from behind the couch, curious but silent. "Ellie, it's okay," Daniel reassured her. The girl looked embarrassed. "Mia," she said softly. "Just Mia." "All right, Mia, the bathroom's through there. There's a towel and some of my daughter's clothes, might not fit perfectly, but it's dry. You can warm up." Mia gave him a surprised look but nodded gratefully. Thank you so much." As she disappeared into the bathroom, Daniel quickly threw another blanket on the couch and added a third plate of beans to the table. Ellie came to his side. "Is she okay?" Ellie asked, her eyes wide. "I think she just had a rough night," Daniel replied. "Just like anyone can." A few minutes later, Mia returned wearing an oversized hoodie and pajama pants that barely reached her ankles. She looked cleaner, calmer, but still unsure of her place. "Come sit," Daniel said, pulling out a chair for her. She hesitated before sitting. "I don't want to be a bother. You already helped more than you had to." "You're not a bother," he said, handing her the plate. "You're just someone who needed help." They ate in silence at first, the hum of the rain filling the gaps. Then Ellie asked the question that had been on her mind. "Where were you going?" Mia blinked, looking at the little girl. "I wasn't sure," she admitted. "I just needed to get away for a while." Ellie tilted her head. "From what?" Mia gave a small, sad smile. "From everything." Daniel gave her a look of understanding. He didn't need details. He'd seen enough of life to recognize pain when it walked through his door. He wasn't the type to pry. If she wanted to talk, she would. After dinner, he offered her the couch. "It's not a 5-star hotel, but it's warm and dry." Mia looked at him with something deeper than gratitude, maybe disbelief that someone with so little would offer so much. "Thank you again," she whispered. "I'll be gone by morning." "No rush," Daniel said. "Rest." As he turned off the lights and tucked Ellie into bed, Daniel glanced back at the couch where Mia was already curled up under a patchwork blanket, fast asleep. He didn't know her story. He didn't know her name beyond what she gave. But in that moment, she was just a girl in the storm, and he was just a man doing the only thing he knew how to do, open his door when someone knocked. Little did he know, that one knock would change everything. Morning sunlight streamed through the blinds, warming the small living room where Mia had slept. Daniel was already up, quietly sipping a mug of instant coffee in the kitchen while Ellie, still in her pajamas, sat on the floor drawing pictures with crayons. Mia stirred on the couch, sitting up slowly, brushing her hair out of her eyes. Her back ached slightly from the narrow space, but she'd had the best night of sleep in weeks. For the first time in a long while, she'd felt safe. Morning, Daniel greeted her with a tired but kind smile. She blinked, confused for a second, then remembered where she was. Morning, she replied, glancing down at the oversized clothes she still wore. Sorry, I didn't mean to crash here so completely. You needed rest, Daniel said simply. No apology needed. Coffee. Mia hesitated. Yes, please, thank you. As he handed her a chipped mug, Ellie looked up from her drawing. Did you sleep good? Mia smiled. I did, thanks to you and your daddy being so kind. Ellie giggled and held up her crayon sketch. I drew all of us. Look, that's you, me, and daddy in the park. Mia's smile softened as she looked at the messy drawing. You're really talented. Daniel chuckled. She gets it from her mom. A silence settled for a moment, one that Mia finally decided to break. She stared down into her coffee, then looked up. I should probably be honest with you, she said slowly. Daniel raised an eyebrow. You don't owe me anything. I know, she said. But you were kind when you didn't have to be. You deserve to know the truth. She took a breath. My real name is Amelia Grayson. My father is Edward Grayson, maybe you've heard of him. Daniel's hand froze midair. He had heard the name, of course. Grayson was one of the richest men in the country. Hotels, television networks, properties all over the world. A true billionaire. Mia saw the flicker of recognition in his eyes. I'm sorry I didn't tell you last night, she added quickly. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I just needed to be invisible for a little while. Daniel leaned back in his chair, absorbing the words. I ran away, Mia continued. We had a huge fight. I felt like I was being controlled, not heard. I got in my car and drove with no destination. I didn't expect it to break down, and I didn't expect the storm. Then I saw your light. Daniel was quiet for a moment. You're a millionaire's daughter, she nodded. And yet, you ended up here, eating beans in a hoodie 3 sizes too big. Mia laughed softly. Ironic, isn't it? No, Daniel replied. It's honest. Doesn't matter where you came from. You were in trouble. You were scared. That's all I saw. Mia looked at him, really looked. She hadn't expected compassion. She'd expected questions, suspicion, or rejection. Instead, this man, who had so little, gave her peace. Then, outside, the roar of an engine. A sleek black SUV pulled up in front of the house. 2 men in suits exited, scanning the area before opening the back door. A tall man in his 60s stepped out, silver-haired, sharply dressed, but with a face weighed down by fear. Dad, Mia whispered, rising slowly. Daniel stepped to the side as the front door swung open and Edward Grayson rushed in. Mia, he exclaimed, his voice choked with relief. She ran to him, throwing her arms around him. I'm sorry, she cried. I've been searching for you all night, Edward sighed, holding her tight. I thought I'd lost you. Then his eyes met Daniel's. You found her. She found me, Daniel said. Edward's eyes moved around the small, modest home. His expression softened. You kept her safe. Daniel nodded. She needed a place. That's all. Edward stepped forward, offering his hand. Thank you, truly. You helped my daughter when she was most vulnerable. I won't forget that. Daniel hesitated, then shook it. Just did what I hope someone would do for my own. Mia turned to Daniel with tearful eyes. You gave me something no money ever could, kindness with no strings attached. You're welcome here anytime, Daniel said quietly. As Mia left with her father, she turned back one last time, locking eyes with the man who had opened his door on a rainy night with nothing to gain. And everything, unknowingly, to give. A week passed. Life returned to normal, or so Daniel thought. He went back to his long shifts, patched up Toby's school shoes again, and kept moving forward. Then one evening, a letter arrived. Not in the mailbox, but hand-delivered in a gold-embossed envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. Greater than, Daniel, I never knew how much one night could change me. Thank you, for your kindness, your honesty, and your home. Please allow me to return what you gave me, in the only way I can. With love, Mia Grayson. The second paper made Daniel sit down. It was a legal deed. Ownership of a 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood, fully paid. Another envelope revealed a check with more zeros than Daniel had ever seen. Enough for a new start, enough for Toby's future. He called the number at the bottom, heart pounding. Hello, Mia's voice came through. I can't accept this, Daniel said. I didn't help you for money. I know, she replied. That's why you deserve it. Daniel looked around his old home. At Toby, building with Lego on the floor. At the patched-up walls, the flickering lights. Sometimes life gives you no warning. Just a knock at the door on a stormy night. He finally whispered, "Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Daniel. You didn't just give me shelter. You gave me hope." A kind but poor single father named Daniel takes in a mysterious young woman during a stormy night, offering her shelter and safety without asking questions. Unbeknownst to him, she is Mia Grayson, the daughter of a billionaire who ran away from home after a fight with her father. Touched by Daniel's selfless kindness, Mia returns to her world, but not before changing Daniel's life forever with a gift of gratitude that secures a better future for him and his daughter. This is a heartwarming tale about how one night of compassion can lead to unexpected blessings.